Ever looked up at a plane and like wondered, how do they even make sure that thing is safe to fly?
Right.
Well, today's deep dive is all about the unsung heroes who do just that, aviation inspectors.
Yeah.
And you've sent over some career materials on this, so it seems like maybe you're considering joining their ranks, so to speak.
Could be a good fit.
Yeah, so let's unpack what this job is all about and what makes it so vital to, keeping the skies safe.
Definitely.
So, what do you think? What's the biggest misconception people have about what aviation inspectors actually, do?
It's fascinating how many people, I think, when they think of aviation inspectors, they just think someone does a quick, like, once over right before a plane takes off.
Like a quick look-see and they're good to go, right?
Exactly.
Give it a thumbs up and we're off.
But in reality, they are responsible for so much more.
Right. It's way beyond just a pre-flight glance, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about making sure that all those maintenance procedures, we all know how important those are followed to the letter. Scrutinizing all those air navigational systems are critical, making sure all the air traffic control protocols are airtight, even down to the comms equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Like they really are the guardians of smooth and safe flights, like top to bottom.
Yeah. And with that level of responsibility, obviously comes like a really impressive set of skills that you have to be an aviation inspector. I mean, obviously, attention to detail. You can't be sloppy, right?
Right.
But here's something that might surprise you.
Yeah.
Strong communication and then also like really good meticulous report writing are like equally important.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because it's one thing to spot a potential issue, right? But being able to then explain it to somebody, especially in what could be a very high pressure situation where you have to be very clear and concise about it, that's critical. So we can ditch that image of the silent inspector just like scribbling on a clipboard. They got to be able to communicate.
Oh, absolutely. They have
Yeah.
to. And analytical thinking and problem solving are essential too. You have to be able to connect the dots, how each little part impacts everything else, and be a true critical thinker when it comes to aviation safety.
So this isn't your typical desk job then, huh? What's the work environment actually like for an aviation inspector? What are we talking?
Yeah, let's just say you won't be stuck in an office all day.
Uh,
Think travel to different aviation facilities. And it could be anything, bustling airports to remote airstrips. You could be exposed to all kinds of weather, scorching sun, freezing cold, you name it, they're out there.
Sounds, exciting, but also potentially demanding at the same time.
Yeah, it can be. And there's also the potential exposure to, hazardous materials and environments.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that this is serious business ensuring air safety.
Absolutely, yeah. Speaking of demanding, how about work-life balance? Is this like a standard 9 to 5, or is it a little more, I don't know, unpredictable?
Well, the aviation world never sleeps.
That's true. That's true.
The sources mention a typical full-time schedule, but they also hint at possible evening, weekend, even holiday work.
So flexibility is key if you're
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
bring an aviation inspector.
You have to be able to adapt to a demanding and constantly changing schedule to be in this field.
Okay, so we've established that being an aviation inspector is anything but dull, requires a really diverse skill set, and demands flexibility. Let's talk pros and cons. What are the big perks? What are the potential downsides that your research has, uncovered?
Well, I would say the job security is a major plus.
Okay.
The aviation industry relies so heavily on these professionals to uphold safety standards, and that translates into a very comfortable salary as well. So if you're looking for stability and good compensation, this could be a great fit.
Sounds promising, but there's got to be a flip side, right? What are some of the challenges, the drawbacks that someone might face in this line of work?
Well, I mean, just the weight of responsibility for air safety, that could be stressful. It's not a job for the faint of heart. Long hours and potential overtime, like we were saying, can also, that impacts work-life balance.
It's a balancing act, right?
Yeah,
Like the high pressure environment, that might not be for everybody, but then again, some people really thrive in those conditions.
exactly. It really comes down to what motivates you and where you see yourself, professionally.
Now, for those who are intrigued by kind of the challenges and rewards of being an aviation inspector, let's talk career progression. Is this a field with a clear path for growth, or is it more of a specialized niche?
Oh, no, there's definitely a trajectory for those with ambition.
Okay.
The materials lay out a pretty clear path, starting with those entry-level roles, and they are very focused on the inspections of maintenance procedures, navigational aids, communication equipment, making sure everything is up to par.
So starting hands-on, really learning the ropes, becoming intimately familiar with all those aviation regulations and standards, really from the ground up.
Exactly. And then as you gain experience, you move up the ranks, you take on more responsibilities, and you might even end up leading a team of inspectors.
And we actually have some real-world examples of this career progression from those career stage profiles that you shared with us.
Be glad.
One junior-level aviation inspector highlighted their experience doing those like very detailed inspections of maintenance procedures, and then also monitoring air navigational aids and conducting audits of communication equipment.
So they're really getting their hands dirty and diving deep into the details early on in their career.
Yeah, getting that experience.
What stood out to you about their experience at that level? Well, they really emphasized their commitment to compliance,
Okay.
which is important, and also their really sharp analytical skills in identifying areas for improvement.
Right.
It's clear they weren't just going through the motions.
Right.
They were really taking ownership of their role in aviation safety, even at that level.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's,
Taking it seriously.
that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
Now, what about those at the senior level? What does a seasoned aviation inspector's profile, what does that look like?
Well, one profile really stood out to me.
Okay.
This individual leads a team of inspectors, conducts those really complex inspections that require years of experience to even be able to do those, and is deeply involved in reviewing and evaluating the big picture stuff, air navigational systems, critical air traffic control procedures.
Right, the really high-level stuff.
Yeah, they've clearly mastered the technical side of the job.
And now they're mentoring others, ensuring that high standard of aviation safety continues.
Passing the torch.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It sounds like a rewarding career path
Yeah.
for those who really stick with it.
It is. And speaking of standing out, this particular profile mentioned a specific certification, which brings us to another key point: the qualifications and certifications that can give you an edge in this field.
Okay, let's talk credentials then. Are there specific degrees or certifications that are considered essential for, aspiring aviation inspectors?
So while a bachelor's degree in, say, aviation management or related field is, pretty common,
Yeah.
it's not always a deal breaker.
Okay.
Relevant experience, especially in aviation maintenance, can sometimes compensate for that.
Got it.
However, certain certifications, those can be real game changers for your career.
Like a VIP pass to career advancement.
Yeah, you could say that the FAA's Aviation Maintenance Technician certification, the AMT certification, that one is highly regarded.
Okay.
And for those with piloting aspirations, the FAA's private pilot license, the PPL, or even a commercial pilot license, the CPL,
Yeah.
those can be incredibly valuable.
So it's not just about knowing the rules, it's about having had that firsthand experience as well, understanding a pilot's perspective.
It gives you that extra edge.
Yeah, for sure.
And on the international front, the ICAO Aviation Safety Inspector certification, that one carries a lot of weight as well.
Oh, that's it.
These certifications show a commitment to ongoing learning.
Okay.
Staying ahead of the curve in this industry that's constantly evolving.
It's like saying, I'm serious about aviation safety and I've got the credentials to back it up.
Precisely. The more certifications you have under your belt, the more you demonstrate your dedication to maintaining those sky-high safety standards.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from the day-to-day of inspections to career progression and all those all-important certifications. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I'm curious about something.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about the technical aspects of being an aviation inspector, but what about the human element? What kind of person thrives in this role? It makes you wonder, what makes someone excel in this role? Is it a certain personality type that, thrives under pressure, or a deep-seated passion for the world of aviation?
That's a great question. And you're right, the materials we've gone through focus a lot on the technical side.
Mm-hmm.
But there are clues about the ideal personality for this job. There's a puzzle waiting to be pieced together.
Okay, yeah, so let's try to put those pieces together then. What kind of personality traits from what you've seen kind of stand out to you in a successful aviation inspector?
Well, first and foremost, I think a genuine passion for aviation is key.
Okay.
This isn't just a job for these individuals. It's like a calling.
Right.
They eat, sleep, and breathe aviation. And that, dedication, it shines through in their commitment to safety.
They see the beauty in a well-maintained aircraft and the importance of a perfectly executed flight plan.
Exactly.
Yep.
But at the same time, they're also grounded in reality,
Okay.
with a meticulous eye for detail. Remember all those potential issues we talked about? They're the ones who spot those problems like way before they even become serious, ensuring that, everything runs smoothly and safely.
So it's a balance of having that, I guess, love for the wonder of flight, but then also combined with a very down-to-earth understanding of the practicalities and the potential risks.
Yeah, precisely. And we can't forget about people skills.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Aviation inspectors aren't just these solitary figures. They're constantly interacting with pilots, mechanics, air traffic controllers, a whole team of aviation professionals.
So diplomacy and clear communication are essential in this job.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine having to deliver tough news about a safety violation or a grounded aircraft.
Right.
It takes a certain finesse to navigate those conversations while, remaining professional and respectful at the same time.
Yeah, it sounds like a high-pressure environment requiring a cool head, strong communication skills to really succeed.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's that unique combination of passion, meticulousness,
Yeah.
and then that natural ability to connect with people that elevates a good inspector to a great one.
Right, because ultimately it's about ensuring that this very complex world of aviation continues to function safely, smoothly, efficiently.
Well said. And with that, I think we've successfully landed this deep dive into the world of aviation inspectors.
I think we have. We've certainly covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From, the everyday tasks that they have to do to that potential career path that's ahead of them, and even those all-important certifications and, the personality traits that we've just been talking about that really do contribute to success in this very demanding field. But remember, this is just the beginning of your journey.
That's right.
We've, provided you with hopefully a solid understanding of what it takes. Now it's up to you to decide if becoming an aviation inspector is the right flight plan for you.
Good luck. And as always, happy landings.